Why is being carbon neutral so important for you?
Yeah, I think it actually came more from David's experience. We've been working together across fashion. So David as designer and manufacturer, and me as a marketer, mainly for a lot of direct-to-consumer brands and beyond the personal aspect of climate change and protection of the environment. We were seeing the crazy share that online was taking over retail. And obviously the cost, the environmental cost associated to this. So we thought that if there were one thing that e-commerce could do since the get-go, was to be 100% carbon neutral. And why since the get-go is because it's way easier to do it if it's part of your DNA and your core, and when you create all the companies, the process, the manufacturing, and the sourcing, rather than just becoming the next day carbon neutral just because you decide. So it was really at the core of the company, and we thought that with the share that e-commerce is taking, we're now at 30% for the jewelry industry. So 70% is still retail, but it's growing very quickly. It was just not a question and a matter.
Excellent, excellent. David, is it expensive to be carbon neutral?
Is it expensive to be carbon neutral? First of all, it depends what you call being carbon neutral. Each company, there is not really a single norm across the industry. So in our case, we decided to do everything from the sourcing of our metals up to the end of life of the product. So we decided to include all of the steps of the manufacturing, the sourcing, the making, the shipping to the US, and even the shipping to the customers. We also included all of our energy expenses in our offices. So yeah, as a company grow, it can become pretty expensive, but in our opinion, it's like part of the mission of the brand. And what's interesting is that if you look at brands that are very established, like Pandora, they did commit a few weeks ago to becoming carbon neutral within 5 years. For us, it was something we wanted to do right away. So we didn't have 5 years to wait for these things. And so we decided to go much faster. And that's why we announced earlier this year that we were carbon neutral less than 2 years after being launched.
I don't think we see it as a cost. It's part of the company, and it's like anything else. So we don't see it as a cost. That's something that is really like, we're not making money out of it, in the sense that it's really our will and our decision and our very favor.
And for us, it's really the minimum that every company should be doing, especially in the fashion industry. It's a highly polluting. It's definitely a highly polluting industry, and jewelry is less known for it. But we try to use 100% recycled materials as much as possible in our packaging, in our products, and in everything we do. So it's just a value and a commitment from us since the beginning, and it's going to go much further in the future. Yeah.
Wonderful, interesting.